So if you're new to manifestation or you're struggling to manifest, the number one thing you can do to make it 10 times easier for yourself is to simply imagine that manifestation is easy. Because I've said this before, but whatever you imagine about something is how you're going to experience it. Whatever you imagine about yourself, the world, other people, money, relationships, and even manifestation is how you're going to experience it. And this might feel a little unnatural at first because manifestation can be such an overwhelming topic. There's so much information out there, and it can be hard to know what's right and what's wrong and what actually works. But to boil manifestation down to its simplest form, it's just your inner experience being reflected on your physical experience. And by physical experience, I mean everything that isn't your imagination. So this includes thoughts, actions, and emotions. So just a little bonus point for this video, if you're wondering if you're on the right track with your manifestations, pay attention to your thoughts, emotions, and actions. They're the first point of contact. They're the first thing that are going to shift once you've changed your imaginal activity or your internal experience. Now, getting back to my original point, it can feel a little unnatural at first to imagine something like manifestation as easy. But as long as you continue to remind yourself to imagine that manifestation is easy, it will become easy. You'll find the right resources, you'll learn the right ideas, and it will just start to flow. And this applies to everything. Imagine yourself as wealthy, imagine money's easy, and those things will become easy. You'll start to feel wealthy, the money will reflect that. Because the thing about money is that it's not abundant or scarce. Money is just a reflection of your internal experience about money. And the same thing goes for relationships. They're not hard, they're not difficult, they don't take a lot of work, and they're not easy. They're simply a reflection of what you imagine about relationships and what you imagine about yourself in relationships. And the main point behind all of this is simply, what are you imagining about stuff in the world? And if you don't like how you're experiencing certain things in the world, change what you imagine about them. Change your internal experience around those things. And I mentioned how imagining manifestation is easy can feel weird at first, and this applies to everything. But it's just like getting a new pair of shoes or wearing a different style of clothing. At first it's going to feel a little weird, but after a few days it's just going to feel natural. And this applies to all new imaginal activity. And it's not something you need to struggle to do, it's just something where you need to be a little bit more aware and a little bit more present. All you need to do is remind yourself that you can change your state of being at any moment. So if you're not in your desired state of being, simply notice it and then start to imagine what your desired state of being, or start to imagine what the person you desire to be would be imagining. See the world through the eyes of the person you desire to be. Now, if this is something you want to dive deeper into and you want to experience real change, check out my school community. It's free for the first 50 members. After that, it's $49 a month. If you're interested, check out the link in the description. Anyway, another layer to this is feel the feeling of relief. If manifestation was easy, if all of your desires and your experiences around them were easy and carefree, odds are one of the main feelings you would feel is relief in your day-to-day life. So if you notice you're in an undesirable state, rather than trying to force yourself to imagine differently, simply just take a step back and feel the feeling of relief. And you can do this around specific desires, whatever you have, feeling the relief of its possession, or you can simply just feel relief in general. And from there, you'll start to flow. It'll give you the space you need from the undesirable states so that you can start to imagine the desirable ones. And that's all it really takes. There are techniques out there that can help with this, but if I were to turn this video into a little system, simply notice the state you're in, and if it's not your desired inner experience, either imagine differently, and if there's too much resistance in that moment, simply practice feeling relief. And another really powerful way you can use this idea is to imagine your day is going great. Before you get out of bed or before you go to sleep at night, imagine your day going well. Imagine you're the kind of person who experiences having good days. And what this does is it gives you wins right off the bat, so you're not waiting for the big things to come and change your life. You're simply waking up and taking control of your life, changing your life, or experiencing your life the way you want to experience it, by tomorrow morning or by the end of the day today. And what this does is it gives you the wins that will lead you to the bigger things, because it's the daily wins that stack up to the big ones. So imagine you're the kind of person who consistently has good days. who goes to sleep feeling satisfied, who wakes up excited. If you use manifestation as a tool to get a bunch of money to fix your life so that you can finally be free, that's going to keep you trapped. Because there's only one cause, and that one cause is imagination. Money and everything else is just the effect of what we've imagined about things. So if you want more freedom or time in your life, imagine more freedom and time. In other words, go to the end. If you have a desire, imagine it's here and now, and let the bridge of incidents carry you there. But in the meantime, imagine manifestation's easy. Imagine seeing the world as if you're the person you desire to be. Let your inner experience lead you across the bridges you need to go across to experience the things you want to experience. And imagine you're the kind of person who consistently has good days, so you can stack up those small things that will build up to the seemingly bigger things or bigger desires you want to experience in your life. Now, if you gained any insights or have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.